Today we're going to talk about SBA's most popular product, the SBA 7A loan. Before we get into the details of the 7A program, I want to talk to you about how SBA works. It's important to know. First of all, SBA is not a bank. SBA does not lend any money whatsoever. Banks do. What SBA does is guarantees a loan up to 90% for the bank. So if there's a case of a default of your loan, it doesn't protect you, it protects the bank, and the bank gets paid by SBA. So more into particulars about the SBA 7A loan. It's primarily used for startups and existing small businesses with financing for a variety of purposes. Everything from equipment, working capital needed for your business, inventory, business expansion, a business purchase or acquisition, real estate purchases, land acquisition and real estate construction, real estate improvements including tenant improvements, and refinancing of existing business debt, and of course, startup costs in certain case-by-case scenarios. The minimum loan dollar amount is usually around $25,000, with the maximum being $5 million. Again, the average SBA loan is usually $375,000. Each small business loan's terms is very different based on how you're going to use the funds. If you're going to be using the loan for inventory or working capital, it's typically structured at a 7-year but will not exceed 10 years as a repayment. And again, those are fixed payments. There are no balloons on an SBA loan. If you're looking for equipment, fixtures, furniture, that's typically structured also at 7 years, but does not accept over 10 years. It's all based on the useful economic life of what you're purchasing. If you're looking to refinance debt, SBA is a way that you can do that. Just be aware that the paperwork does get a little bit intensive just because we need to prove that the funds that you used it for was for business purposes. And that also must be able to see what the terms are of that loan as the terms for the SBA loan. Interest rates. Generally speaking, interest rates on an SBA 7A loan are generally variable. Variable based on prime rate. So, again, these are fully amortized loans, which means your payment will be the same the entire time with no balloon payments, which means you're not going to have to come up with a large sum at the end of the term. There are no prepayment penalties on SBA loans under $350,000. Over $350,000, there is. There are fees into SBA loans. SBA loans are generally a little bit more expensive than your conventional financing that you'd find through a bank. SBA currently right now in 2016 does not charge any SBA fees under $150,000. If your loan is from $150,000 up to $700,000, there's a 3% fee that will be assessed. If it's over $700,000 up to $5 million, it is 3.5%. That is on top of any other closing costs or lender packaging fees that may be assessed. Generally speaking, SBA 7A loans really benefit borrowers because it gives you longer term financing, it improves your cash flow, it has a fixed maturity, there's no balloons, and no prepayment penalties under $350,000. There is also a few other things you need to understand about the SBA 7A loan. Generally speaking, in order to be eligible for an SBA loan, you do have to be operating for profit, be small as defined by the SBA, so make sure to reach out to your SBA lender, have reasonably invested equity into the project. Again, we will not lend 100% of your startup venture. You need to come to something with the table. And make sure you have some personal assets just in case something fails. SBA loans cannot be used for the following. 1, affect a partial change of ownership. So if you're wanting to do a business acquisition, it is important that you are buying 100% of the business. If you're looking to purchase a partial, that's not going to work under SBA. SBA loans cannot be used to repay delinquent state or federal taxes. You can't use a government loan to pay off government debt. Sorry. Again, on the collateral piece, SBA cannot turn you down for lack of collateral. However, the more collateral you have, the stronger the deal looks. Hopefully this video helped you understand the SBA 7(a) program. Feel free to check out the other resources located here on paultlong.com, and feel free to reach out to me if you have questions, or your local SCORE or SBDC office located in your town. Thanks so much for watching.